Hello and welcome back to the Best Start Guide, people. It is day 76, and I can't believe I forgot to do this yesterday. This would have been glaringly obvious. I don't know if any of you noticed this glowing purple portal, but there is a 10x going on. Not 10x, 2x, but I have 10 shards. So, it's 10x, it's 10x, 2x, but not really, but sort of. Because there is actually a targeted champion, so it is a 10x. So never mind. I am being scatterbrained as usual. It's a 10x for Sulfurion, and I think this guy would be amazing for this account. So I'm going to pull right now, or imminently. I'm going to pull today anyway. I wanted to cover a few things first, as outlined in the notes. But basically, you have an AoE revive, which grants an extra turn, and you've got HP burn on all enemies, which this account doesn't have yet. So if RNGesus wants to be extra kind today, this guy would be amazing for the account. Possibly the best thing that could possibly happen to this account. Spider would become a lot easier. And the fact that he has a revive in addition to all that is just so cool. What a great champion. I would absolutely love to pull this guy. So we got the 10 Void Shards, but I wanted to do something a little special today. I wanted to talk about who I think, in my personal opinion, is the top 10 Void Rares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Actually, the first thing on my notes I'm noticing is just this. This is the status report for the account today, basically. On the mission track, I need to get my next 6-star to level 60. So I'm just sort of passively doing that while doing this damn challenge. I seriously have been doing this for 24 hours now. I mean, not me the whole time, but I've been running extra energy that I've got, trying to just get a 5-star artifact from clearing Kirok Castle. And it's just the most annoying thing. And I had to do it 3 times in a row. Plarium, if you're watching, these challenges are not challenges. They're a test of patience, maybe. But they're not challenges. But basically, I am slowly trying to get this guy to level 60 while just running my campaign farmer, Kale. Although it looks like he'd be a decent campaign farmer too. But anyway, just going over and over again, never getting the 5-star item. It's just irritating, and like Plarium, I know you guys are basically motivated by money, but I don't even see how this makes you guys money. This is just slowing down the game to the point you're just going to drive new players away. Why would you do that? Why? But anyway, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite rares, and I got a couple of notes here. I've got some honorable mentions. I mean, a lot of the Void Rares are really good, but here are a few honorable mentions. I want to go to the Knights Revenant. These guys aren't going to be in the top 10, or we could call it a top 13. But I'm going to go with Ash Walker. This guy is really neat. I wanted him to be on the top 10. I know Ash loves him because he's, of course, got Ash in the name. And he really is a solid champion. He's got an AoE, which does weaken. And I think that's pretty much unique to this guy. I don't think there are any other rares that put weaken on every enemy. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think anybody else does that. He's also got this really good stun. And the Devastator can reset the cooldown, or the Great Hammer can reset the cooldown of Devastator, which is this one. So, I mean, that's all really good stuff. If I happen to pull this guy today, I'd consider building him, but I probably still won't. It kind of depends on what else we get. But also, same faction, honorable mention would be to Daywalker. This guy's also neat. He can help you in, particularly if you're fighting Lydia in the arena, and you have a reviver, but you don't want Lydia to block your revive, so you can run this guy. He's got a passive that revives him automatically, and he comes back and he actually hits everybody. It can't be critical, but you can kind of build him with just a lot of attack, so you try to do a powerful standard attack. So it can be a cool gimmick. He's not in my top 10 though. Then finally, and this guy's pretty neat. He just didn't quite make the top 10. We go to Undead, and it is Doom Screech. This guy is solid. He's got a nice shield that he could put up. Damage is based on HP, so you can make him good and tanky. He's got a good base HP as well. And he fills the turn meter by 30%, which is one of the best turn meter fills in the game, and it's on a rare, and it's paired with an increased defense, which is super rare. I think I can only think of one other champion that even does both of these things, and that's a Void Legendary, Duchess. Not Duchess, the other one. Siphi, Siphi the Lost Bride. But anyway, here we go. We're going to do the top 10 now. So we're going to head over to Dark Elves. This is number 10. We could start with 1, but we're going to start with 10 because, countdowns are fun. So number 10 is Paragon. This guy is annoying as hell if you don't have the ability to remove Unkillable, because he can basically restore this every 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown. He's got Unkillable for 2 turns. You can use this to cheese all kinds of bosses. You can use it to cheese people in the arena. Although if you're the attacker in the arena, maybe you don't want to, because you might not actually have enough damage to get through a defense, and then you just be there all day. But you could probably score some W's by forcing other people to be there all day. Very cool champion. Number 9, we're going to head back to Knight Revenant again. And number 9 is the only one that we've actually pulled on this account. It's Renegade. I'm placing her at number 9 because even though this is really powerful to decrease the cooldown by 2, it's kind of all she does. It's neat, but she's a sort of champion that even on my main account, I have one sort of built out, but I didn't build her to 6 because you don't really even need her for that. You basically just need her for this one ability. She's the only champion in the game that does it like this, but it's not like she's the best champion in the game for resets. That is probably either Kymar or not Yumeko. Yes, Yumeko. Kymar or Yumeko. But she's still got her own little niche use. So next we're going to do number 8 is Demons. Number 8 is Fellhound. I can't believe this guy's number 8 because really I think this is one of the first Void rares I ever built on my very first account. And he was my campaign farmer for a long time. And this is the thing about Fellhound, is he is a fast campaign farmer. He'd probably be even faster than Kale. He's probably about as fast as Saurus, but you can build him for better damage than Saurus. You just have to get lucky enough to pull Fellhound. So if we pull Fellhound, we might actually build him. Like if I pull him today, he's probably going on the list of champions to 6-star next because he's that good. You can build him for a decent amount of damage. He's good in the challenge rooms. He also has this block damage, which can be useful in niche cases. And then he's got the continuous heal and reflect damage. You can actually use that to help against Fire Knight. This is effectively, if you do this at the right time, 5 extra hits against the Fire Knight's shield. So very useful ability. So number 7. Number 7 is in High Elves. And I really like this champion as well, although I don't know if I'd bother building her at this point, although maybe because we still need a cleanser. I don't have a decent cleanser, and that's the thing. She's got a cleanse, full cleanse, 3-turn cooldown, once booked. And she has a revive. Her revive is nothing special. There are even a lot of rares at this point that have revives, but she still has one, and that can be difficult to acquire early on in the game. So if you're struggling for a reviver, like I'm not at this point, I just got super lucky. I pulled Gorgorab, I got Jamarsa, and I got Tagor. So I mean, I'm practically drowning in revivers as it is. And if we happen to get Sulfurion, which I'm sure we won't, but if we happen to get Sulfurion, man, so many revives. But anyway, Reliquary Tender has this cleanse paired with continuous heal, which is extremely good for a rare. Very good support coming from there. And speaking of support, let's head back to Dark Elves, because there's another supporting Dark Elf that can pair well with Reliquary Tender. Like if you have these two, it's very easy to keep a team alive because you got a lot of healing. You got her, so Painkeeper. I should say her name, eh? Painkeeper's number 6. She has a nice little area of effect attack that scales off HP. So again, she's got good base HP. You can stack lots of HP on her. It also kind of scales off attack. I don't remember this scaling off attack. Did they change that? I can't remember. But anyway, it still hits pretty hard. It's an area of effect attack, and it heals everybody. And that's super useful. And then you've got the cooldown decreasing thing. It's on a 4-turn cooldown when booked, and you're reducing the cooldowns of everybody by 1 turn. She's used in all kinds of crazy comps that require everybody to go fast and everybody to get their cooldowns fast. So she basically just makes everyone around her better. That's kind of why Painkeeper is number 6. Number 5. So we're going to hit the top 5 now. We're going to go to Ogres. And number 5 for me is Gear Grinder. I absolutely love this dude. He is he's not just good. He's also like the hottest ogre. Like, you notice most ogres are kind of not so nice to look at, but look at this dude. This dude is a sex knight. He is a well-built dude. But enough about that. He's got a revive on a 5-turn cooldown, and it's a decent one. It's got 50% HP plus 50% turn meter, and that's I think about as good as it ever gets for rare revives, is the 50 and 50. So that's really good. He's got the HP and faction crypts, and you're going to want him for the faction crypt. And this is part of why I'm putting him at number 5, is the ogres don't have a decent reviver. It's like this guy, and that's practically it. So this guy's kind of essential for getting through faction wars. He's also HP, so his A1 actually does scale exclusively off his HP. You can build him with 100% crit rate so that you get this continuous heal going off. You give him counterattacks. He's frequently getting this up. If you put him in a regen set, that's where he really shines. And he's got heals for days, basically. So he's got the revive, he's got healing, He is a solid reviver champ. Absolutely love this dude. So number 4, on the subject of like support revivers, this guy is like the best support reviver in the game as far as rares go anyway. It is True Shield Knot. It's the weak version of increased defense, but it's paired with a lot of healing, and he's got a double revive. I don't think any other rares have a double revive in them, and it's also a 5-turn cooldown. So on 5 turns, you can get a double revive out of this guy. He scales off... Oh, no, he doesn't scale off defense. I thought he did. But anyway, he's got the increased defense, so he's good for a defense-based team. His aura is nothing special. I don't know, for a rare, this is actually not bad. But it's the double revive. That's the big reason that I want to put him here. Plus this AoE heal, which is like a 3-turn cooldown, so you're going to get it all the time when you book this guy. Really useful. Plus, his A1, great against Fire Knight. So this guy would be fantastic support. Like, probably put him next to a... if I happen to pull this guy, I'd probably put him next to Apothecary. And the two of them have enough of the multi-hits. Then we could probably just go with whatever DPSers we want. So, number 3. Here's number 3. We're going to go to Ogres again. Some of you can probably guess who number 3 is going to be, because a lot of people talk about this guy. Super duper good. Bellower. Every single one of his hits is an area of effect, so you can use this guy as a campaign farmer. He's decently fast. He'd be about as fast as Fellhound. But often, I think the better thing to do with Bellower is use him as a crowd control champ. So he's got decreased attack, decreased defense, decreased speed, and block active skills. And you can just rotate through all of these and place these on your enemies, all the while put them in a stun set, and maybe with a subset of counterattack, and maybe some counterattack accessories if you're lucky enough to get those. And man, this guy is like he's like the junior version of Mighty Uko. He's doing a lot of work, being annoying, putting out the debuffs, putting out stuns. You could put him in a provoke set too, so he'd go more frequently. He'd be more likely to get the provoke than the stun. But I think you're probably better off in the stun, and it's more practical when it comes to those secret rooms. You probably want to bring in Bellower in a stun set, and that'll get you a lot of crowd control. So that's number 3. Number 2. Coming right down to it here. Number 2, we're going to go down to dwarves. And we're going to go to like yet another champion that is absolutely amazing in a stun set, and it's Kurzad Deepheart. For a similar reason as Bellower, he has almost as many AoEs. It's not on the A1, but his A1's great. Because if you give him 100% crit rate, he gets an extra hit when it's critical. And the extra hit gets you the decreased speed, and it's guaranteed. There are not a lot of champions that have a guaranteed decreased speed on their A1. Like in the whole game, I'm including even legendaries. This is super rare that you can have a champion that's void, so you never have to worry about weak hits, and it can land that decreased speed. This can be critical if you're trying to beat the Iron Twins, and you want to get them under decreased speed for all kinds of reasons. And he can reliably just place it every single turn if you need to. So just for Iron Twins, this guy is better than most legendaries. And then you pair this with the fact that he's got 2 different area of effect attacks that, I mean, this one does a crazy amount of turn meter fill, giving him another turn almost right away. And this one, which has the decreased defense. It's the weak version, but it's still there. And if you put this guy in a stun set, you're just going to be dizzying your opponents for days. So that's why this guy's number 2. He is just crazy useful. So number 1, which will come as a surprise to absolutely no one, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is number 1, just for in case anybody does not know about Coldheart. She is the like amazing goddess of all things. Like she's in like every comp. She is the goddess of Spider because she's got a decreased turn meter by 100% plus enemy max HP base damage. She is the goddess of Fire Knight because she's got this 4-time hitter, just like practically unheard of. For rares, I think there's no one else. I think everybody else that has the 4 hitters are either an epic or a legendary. So this is practically unheard of. She's got the heal reduction here, which is great for all kinds of champions, for all kinds of bosses that you don't want healing. She has a nice area of effect, so even if you wanted to use her in the arena, you can use her as an arena nuker. She's going to be just as good as Kale or the others. Like, look at her attack stat. It's huge. It's one of the best attack stats for rares in the game. Plus, like, look at this underboob. No, wait, don't do that. Don't look at the underboob. Anyway, that's the top 10. So, I think without further ado, let me quickly check my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I wanted to do the status report, the top 10. Yeah, we're going to pull the shards. So I still haven't made my next 6-star. So maybe, just maybe, this is going to change what we do. And you know what? I just realized I forgot to wear the hat. Where is my hat? Where's it at? Hang on. Hey, it's me, your old buddy Shardio. We're gonna pull some shards today, but first we're gonna make a wish to RNGesus. Please, RNGesus, all-knowing, all-powerful, please give us a Void Legendary. Especially that Sulfurion, he's a badass. Or give us a Coldheart because of the underboob. I mean, the usefulness. Amen. So here we go. We're just going to pull all 10 at once. Ooh, we're getting Uragrim. That's super cool. So we got a Bellower. We got a Reliquary Tender. That's 2. And Skirmisher. Skirmisher is another one I considered. I'm surprised I didn't put her in the honorable mentions. Maybe I'll just talk about this now. She has an area of effect that removes buffs from every enemy. And this can be really useful in Faction Wars. Like if you happen to get her, definitely build her out for Faction Wars. When you encounter those annoying Paragons, she's a way to get through it. Because otherwise, like there are a lot of turn meter control champions that you might have, thinking it'll give you nice control when you enter Faction Wars, and then you just encounter one of those damn Paragons or Man-Eaters or anything else that puts out those annoying unkillables. But Didn't get a Cold Heart, which is what I was really hoping for. Didn't get Sulfurion, which would have been like unbelievable. I mean, I wasn't even expecting that. But we do have Bellower. Now this is an attractive choice. So here's a question for you guys. We got Bellower. We've also got Uragrim. I didn't talk about this guy because he's not a rare, but man, this guy is one of the best epics in the game, maybe. You can use him to solo various dungeon bosses if you have good gear. We probably don't have good enough gear for that at this point, but he's got a cleanse. I said I wanted a cleanser. This guy's probably well worth building. So here's a question. One of you on the last video commented that I should go with Gorgrab. I kind of agree with that logic. Gorgrab is a nice champion because he does do a lot of work. If we quickly go to the Gorgrab, actually he's here in champions. We could just look at him, or maybe he's not. Where are you, Gorgy? So Gorgrab, I got mine in a speed set, so he's good and fast already. He'd be solid. He's got the area of effect revive. Plus, he's got the turn meter fill with the increase attack, kind of like a mini version of Arby. And he's even got the ability to remove random buffs just in case I need that for any areas where I happen to encounter an annoying Paragon. Although I'm probably never going to build him with accuracy. But now with these new champions, it's a question of are any of them going to be likelier. So I got enough food for another 6 right here. I got 5 redeemers that I can redeem for that. I've actually got 7 because I got 2 of these. Who knows? By tomorrow I might even have farmed enough food that I can make 2 6s. And that would make the decision a little easier because I can make 2. But here are the 2 new candidates for new 6s. Bellower can be a campaign farmer. He can also just be a nuisance champ for crowd control in basically any dungeon, any secret room, Doom Tower, anywhere that I need the control. I could put this guy in a stun set. I mean, I already have other champions that also have an area of effect on their A1, so I could just spam the A1, but this guy's void. So it makes that a little bit easier. So we have the decreased attack and the decreased defense when we send him. We have the decreased speed. We have the block active skills. I absolutely love this guy. I'm actually over the moon that we pulled Bellower. So I might even build Bellower because he's easy enough to book as well. I don't even think he needs to be booked. I don't know. We do get better debuff chances out of these if we book them. So it probably is worth booking Bellower. We probably have enough rare books as it is. And the other obvious choice to make a 6-star at this point would be Uragrim, just because we do need a cleanser. He removes all debuffs from an ally and then heals them by 40%. That's really strong. I'd prefer an area of effect cleanse, but I would take this, particularly when you consider he's got the ability to poison all enemies and putting continuous heal on all allies. Like you could basically build this guy right. He can solo various dungeons, and then we could be farming better gear while farming food. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? I'm keen to hear your opinions. Do you think I should still go with somebody like Gorgorab? And I also kind of wanted to do Foley. I also kind of want to do Rorik Wormbane for the damage that he does to the clan boss, but I might even be able to get that damage up with Foley. Which is, I guess, 1 more point for Foley. But now we got Uragrim, and we got Bellower. Where are you, buddy? So these are the ones that I'm considering now. All great champions. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.